Hello and welcome to another video. Let's get straight into this. So this is where I'm going to be making the castle right in the center of the map. And now I'm going to terraform the third layer of cliffs. And if you're wondering, I did change outfits. I'm trying to experiment with different clothes to see what my signature outfit might be, or I might not even have a signature outfit. I might just change once in a while and then change to another outfit. But I'm wearing a Kiddie and Lala dress and a bear backpack that you get from Kicks, which is really cute. But I'm not sure if I like it better than what I wore before. I might change back to that. It depends. I'm still trying. Also, I'm going to put my house on these cliffs. I am moving my house out of the neighborhood because I'm going to put other villagers' houses in the neighborhood and just basically fill it up with villagers' houses instead of having mine in, because mine doesn't really fit because my house is bigger. I know once you get to a certain level in Happy Home Paradise, you can customize villager exteriors, which is really cool, but I haven't gotten to that point yet and I'm kind of impatient, so I am moving my house out of the neighborhood and putting it in my castle area. It's not going to be a castle, it's just going to be in the walls of the castle. You'll see later. Also, this is completely random and not related to the build at all, but later in the video you'll see different times of days. It would be sunset and then suddenly it will become nighttime, or it will be sunset and then suddenly become daytime. That's because it will start getting darker and I would time travel an hour or two earlier so that it wouldn't get too dark for me to build. And now I'm putting down the path. I was thinking of putting an outline for the path, like the path in my neighborhood and how it has the trim around it, but I felt like it was going to take up too many slots for custom designs, and I like the sound when you walk on the tiles, so I decided not to do it. Let me just say, this castle is unlike any castles I've ever seen. It's unique, let me just say that. Now I'm putting some greenery in front of the castle. I put these pomera bushes down and I think they're really pretty when they bloom. And later in the video, you might see that the flowers bloomed. I time traveled to get some items and I think I recorded this video on November 27th or something. So I time traveled a few days until I was in December, and that's when they bloom if you have a Southern Hemisphere island. I had an idea of putting down the playing party light arch item down. I did end up keeping the item, but I didn't keep those little stars that were underneath. I liked it, but I needed at least 2 space tiles for it to show up on my map and for it to look consistent. So I got rid of the stars, but I kept the party lights. And now I'm just continuing the path. I wanted it to be very symmetrical on both sides. I wanted it to be as symmetrical as it could be. And now I'm talking to Tom Nook about my home because I want to move it. And as I showed, 8,000 bells. It used to be 30,000, I think, so that's a huge change. I also saw that he reduced the price for villager homes as well to 10,000 when it used to be 50,000, so that's a huge improvement, and I'm so happy that Nintendo decided to make those changes. Now I'm marking out where I want my house to go. The thing about the houses are that they're not exactly even. So if you're putting an incline in front of it. The inclines are 2 spaces wide, so the house won't match up exactly to the incline. But that might not be true because you can customize villager exteriors now, and maybe one of them are even, I'm not sure. But I was kind of struggling if I wanted to put it on the left side or the right side. I ended up putting it on the left side, but I don't think it would really have mattered. I put down a cedar tree to hide the abrupt edges. I didn't use a tower at that time because I didn't have any more, and they're like 300,000 each, I think, so they were really expensive and I didn't feel like buying any more. So that's why I used the tree. Now I'm working on the left side. I wanted to make an entryway from the side from that plain party arc, so I had to make it more accessible, which means I need to make the cliffs bigger. So that's what I did here. And now I'm moving Tangy's house. Tangy was one of those villagers that had a weird area or was in a weird space, so I decided to move her to this spot. And now I'm moving Raymond's house. For some reason I recorded the dialogue for Raymond and not Tangy. I should have recorded it for Tangy first and then not for Raymond, but whatever. In order to put Raymond's plot down, I also had to make the right side. I wanted to make everything really symmetrical. That's why I kept on going over to Tangy's house so I could see if the paths are even. And this is the part when I messed up. If you saw on the map, I did put the paths were symmetrical when I did them, but when I placed Raymond's house down, it overlapped with the path, and now you can see I'm showing how the paths are now uneven by like 1 square tile. So I had to go and talk to Raymond, move his house again to a random area, And then I had to go and fix that. After time traveling, fix that one, like 2 square tile path. And then now it's even. And then I had to move Raymond's house back again, and it was a whole process. And this is mistake number 2. I tried to put this plain party light down, but it wouldn't let me. I thought maybe it was because the house wasn't built yet, so I tried time traveling, but then I noticed that Tangy's and Raymond's door, they're in the same placement. They're both on the right side, meaning I can't put like an item right next to their door. I could do it with Tangy because hers is, I put her house on the left side, meaning her door will be away from the plain party light. So it wasn't symmetrical at the end. And then I tried to cut the tree, and as you just saw before, it shot out a wasp. Like, of course the first tree I cut down would have the wasp out of all the trees on my island. Like, it's kind of unnecessary. But the reason why I wanted to cut down that tree is because I just ordered the pillars. I said I didn't want to order at the moment, but I did later on order it because I thought it would look nicer. And it was worth it. I cut down this tree as well because I wanted everything to be symmetrical. Luckily, this one didn't have a wasp, but I would be ready if it did. Now I'm putting down the last final touches. This part is just very self-explanatory. I redid the path because I wanted to move everything one space forward. So my castle is done, and I'm going to show you a quick little look at what I have built. If we go up this incline, right to Judy. Judy, get out of the way, please. We have a left and right side, and I have a plan. Judy, get out of the way. Sorry. I have a plan for this, but you have to wait till next video to see it because it's kind of like a big idea, and it will probably take a whole video, so stay tuned for that. And if we go up here, this is where my house is going to be, or is, and it's not centered, which bothers me and probably bothers you as well, but I can't really do anything about it since the house is not even, which I wish they made it even. I hope you enjoyed today's build, and stay tuned for part 2 of the castle, and I'll see you next video. Bye!